Hey guys, Ash here at Flight Sim Reviews, and let's take a look at the flying characteristics of this airplane. I am at TNCM, St. Julian, pretty famous airport. I'm sure all you Flight Sim guys know what I'm talking about. We're lined up on runway 09, and I have clearance to take off. So the plane is pretty much totally set up the way it would be for takeoff. I have my flight director here telling me my pitch attitude up, course to my destination, etc. So I'm going to go ahead and advance the throttles and let you see what this plane's like in a takeoff roll. I don't know if you guys can hear that, but there's going to be a slight clicking. That clicking is the throttles going through the detents into their different thrust levels. I'm also going to unpause my track IR. My rudder pedals, unfortunately, I need a longer USB cord, so I'm using my stick, so please excuse the poor attempt at holding center line. The airspeed's alive. And we have positive rate, so we're going to go ahead and go gear up. As you can see, there's a radar altimeter on this aircraft. You can see it going up right there. Amazingly, one of the sweet, nice, awesome things about this aircraft is that you can see on the speed tape, right? Let me go ahead and clear this. You can see right on the speed tape that there's a indication of stall speed due to angle of attack. And it's active gauge. So if I was to give this plane some more up, you can see that I'm increasing my angle of attack. And though I haven't changed my airspeed, I am changing the angle of attack with the aircraft. I don't know if you guys know, but an aircraft doesn't necessarily stall at a given speed. An aircraft stalls only when the angle of attack exceeds the relative wind. So you basically draw a chord line along the wing, and depending on the relative laminar flow on the leading edge, anytime you split that flow, the wing can't develop lift. And people, I know, don't realize this as much, but you can stall at Mach 2 if you put enough angle on the incorrect wing as far as climb angle. So that's why I'd point that out. People always kind of get concerned about stall speeds. Well, that's one part of the pie. It's not just X speed. Obviously, in different configurations and wing designs, you can stall a plane at 400 knots just because you're exceeding the angle of attack, and that's what this gauge right here on the left side is, angle of attack. It's going to show you how close you are to separating the laminar flow off the wing, off the top surface of the wing. So I'm going to go ahead and go slats and flaps up here. And as you can see over here, we're in the climb profile of the aircraft. So that is the FadeX climb profile. As you can see, we're climbing kind of slowly here. We can obviously give the throttles more, but I'm just showing you a basic climb out. I usually climb with a little more thrust to expedite the departure. I am running Rex 2.0, so you can recognize that. I was going to go ahead. We're going to give her some up trim so I can relieve some of this back pressure on the stick, like I was telling you guys about earlier. Try and hold this pitch attitude. And that's hands off the stick, guys. That's trim. That's about what you're looking for. If we have a little bit of crosswind, it's going to roll your wings a little bit. But that is what we're looking for. I am pretty much hands off, and I'll prove that to you. We'll go ahead and put the yoke back. You can see I'm not moving it. And I may give it a little correction to level the wings, but I'm not, fighting it up and down. I'm just going to go ahead and use my trim to maintain the best level of climb, etc. Obviously, check your cabin pressure over here, make sure that everything's pressurizing correctly, etc. I'm going to go ahead and use the altitude feature of the autopilot, and we're just going to go ahead and do a heading select. I don't really want to, I'm not going to try and prove anything here or show you a true flight plan. I'm going to pull the throttles back to cruise now that we're leveling off. You can see that's signified by cruise on the N1 levels, and since we're now straight and level, we will begin to speed up. Let's go ahead and take a look outside. And again, a very, very nice flight model. It's a very pretty aircraft. I really like the way the wings, the curvature of that wing. It is just a beautiful airplane Cessna is produced with this Citation 10. As far as, let me show you the back cockpit real quick while we're at it. This is the back of the aircraft, if you guys wanted to see. Some of the things do work. You can pull the TV screens towards you. You can use the phone. You can do some different things. You can move the seats. This all opens up. You know, I'm not a big fan of this stuff. I really wish developers would not waste their time with making these cabins when this is a flight sim, not a passenger sim. And, you know, I do see, you know, there's sometimes in cockpits where they're not done as well as I feel they could have been. And then the developers wasted all this time to build this, you know, accurate passenger area that you're going to spend, you know, 3 minutes looking at going, oh, that's pretty cool. But after you're done with that, you're going to be right back in the cockpit. So, back with my track IR, and we're obviously cruising up. We're going to use the Mach number here. If we were higher, you always use the Mach number to learn how fast you're going. Just to show you, I'm going to go ahead and give her climb thrust, which will push her up to hopefully the red speed line, so I can show you the overspeed line. We're going to go takeoff thrust. That's not something you'd want to do in real life. There's limits to how long you can run each thrust profile. But there you can see the red line here. And that's the overspeed line. And so the speed tape and all that is very accurately done. Since you see we've leveled off, the angle of attack indicator is showing we're not anywhere close to exceeding the angle of attack of the wing. And that was just a very simple takeoff. One thing I'd like to point out is, see that we're in cruise profile, and you can see that the throttles are adjusting for best cruise. And so it's going to keep us up around the overspeed tape line while using as little gas as humanly possible. So that's a really nice feature. The add-on does require FSU IP. It's an add-on program to get the auto throttle and the FADEC to work appropriately, but that's okay due to the fact that the trial version is free and it works just fine. There must be more options in it that I haven't experimented with it yet, but as far as just working and running the detents, the trial version does it just fine, so there won't be any outlay to do that. The only weird thing about the Citation, and it's not Eaglesoft's fault, is that usually you have your autopilot adjustments on this glare shield. And so if ATC clears you to heading 050, you usually reach up here on this glare shield and roll the knob. Well, in the Citation, the knobs are here. And it's kind of annoying if you don't have a track IR, because, you know, ATC clears you to flight level 120 and a heading of 360. You've got to look down and look over here because you're making your adjustments here or here, and run the knobs down here. So aftermarket autopilot box would probably be a nice addition to this plane due to the fact that they're not right up on the glare shield where you would expect them to be. So I hope this has been informative. This was just a simple takeoff. As you can see, it's a nice flying airplane. And I hope you stay tuned for my next review. Thanks.